Hello, this is my 2021 Yamaha Tracer 9 GT, and I recently installed a Leo Vince aftermarket exhaust. And basically the next step is I want to have an ECU flash, and just to take advantage of the exhaust. I'm not going to install like another air filter, and that's all underneath the tank. But to get to the ECU, because of course you have to mail it in, you need to remove all this here. So looking at the service manual, you can see that there's quite a few things that need to happen. This here would be the ECU, and it you can see that it refers to all the chassis, different pages to get to remove all this. So what I'll do is just briefly show the steps required just to have access to the ECU, and hopefully it helps. All right, the first step is to take this off here. So what you can do with this is basically on this, there's these bolts here, and then these little tabs that you can pull out. And then when you do that, that should all pull out. So let me go and do that, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so once you take off some of the clips, this also comes off. So this is here. What you have to do in that is kind of pull, and then it kind of slides out this way. See the angle of what they come in? And you got to be careful here because there's a little clip at the end. It goes right in here. So don't try to take it out and whack. Everything needs to slide this way, that way. And that's it. So there's clips here, there may be one here. There may be clips here if you lose them or not, if they're still there. Zip tie it if you don't have clips, who cares? But that's it. So that will come out. Let me put that back here. So that comes out, and now we go to the next step. Okay, so what needs to happen here is the ECU sits on top here. We need to get underneath here. So all that stuff here is going to come out. And you can see there's little, when you look around carefully, there's little pinpoints here. There's one here, another one here, and here, another one here. The tank likely needs to come up for me to be able to like unplug the ECU, which means if it comes up, all that has to come out too. So let's take a look to see what's behind here. But I think it's not good news. I think that all this is going to need to come out so that the tank can go up. All right, I removed the piece that's right here, and as I feared, no go. You can see here that there's an obstacle in the way, probably the fuel tank. So yeah, can't get to it. So all that plastic here is going to have to come off like they show here. Basically, all that needs to come out in order to get to this tank so we can lift it up and have access to the ECU. Okay then, so to get to the tank, we're gonna take these off here, the side. That's right here, a 4mm hex on both sides. You take that out, and there's little clips. 1, 2, and 3. And same thing on the other side. Take those out as well, and that'll leave you room to get this out. Okay, to remove those panels, there's 2 grommets. So you'll pull one here, and there's another one here. There we go. And what you have to do is basically pull up on this to get it out. Don't try to, because there's a hook thing down here. So just, try to pull it up, and that way it gets out. Same thing for the other side. Next is this panel. So there's a 4mm hex here, or a 5mm, and then here's a bolt that goes here. So those 2 come out, and there's a grommet right here. So pull on that, and then this whole thing's gonna come out. Same thing with the other side. Okay, so that's what we have so far with all that stuff removed. Here, I guess you can see where the air goes in, and I still can't get to the ECU. Now, look at that thing. Wouldn't that be convenient if that was the ECU? Wouldn't it be? No. I think it's for the active suspension. So I'll remove this little bolt here. And but I do think the tank needs to rotate up. I do think we'll need to remove all that here. But let me do that, and then I'll report back. So yes, you do have to remove that piece, and now it's removed. By the way, you probably won't have that at all. These are aftermarket shims I installed to get the front seat up a bit for riding comfort. So that's out. Let's see if this rotates up now, and it does. And the intake, and you can see everything underneath here, as well as connections for that ECU. So once you take out the ECU, I'm assuming you got access to the intake filter and maybe even the spark plugs down there. So all in all, that's what you need to do to get to the area under the tank. By the way, little tip if you're doing this yourself, you can just lift up the tank and strap it to the back. It'll stay up. And this, you can try to remove the clips while it's on, or what you can do is once you release these, you don't release them, but you can pull them up. You can slide this downwards and basically, you know, twist it out, and then you'll have access to the bottom. And, you know, with these clips here, it's a matter of, once they're off, of pushing this down. You can see the action on the first two. And on this one, it's a slider. So you got to press down on the middle button, and then you'll push this bar out of the way and it'll eject it. That's basically it. Just a little tip if you're doing this by yourself.